Ireland hurling champions Kilkenny took on a Dublin team that is yet to fire on all cylinders this summer. Could they cause an upset? Let's find out as we join Gary McDonough.
Kilkenny make 3 changes to the side that defeated Offaly a fortnight ago. Conor Fogarty will start at cornerback in place of the injured Jackie Tyrrell, while up front Walter Walsh comes in for TJ Reid. Killian Buckley also starts in place of Aidan Fogarty, but will probably start at wing forward. Dublin manager Anthony Daly is happy to go again with the same 15 that beat Wexford in a replay 8 days ago. Liam Rush starts at centre half back with Conal Keaney selected at wing forward beside Ryan O'Dwyer and Danny Sutcliffe. Paul Ryan keeps his place at corner forward while Johnny McCaffrey captains the side from midfield. This one picked up by Conal Keaney, low and across but easily gathered by Owen Murphy. Tommy Walsh clears it long into the breeze. Down towards Walter Walsh, and that's a fantastic catch by Walter. Bearing down in on goal, takes the shoulder well, and then Walter Walsh sneaks over. A brilliant score for Kilkenny. Well, that's how you do it. A fantastic clearance from Tommy Walsh, but look at this for a catch under pressure from Walter Walsh. And then took the shoulder here from Niall Corcoran, and a brilliant score. Picked up again by David Tracy, trying to get a pack through, bit of a mistake, and there's a chance save from Paul Ryan. He really had a swing at that one. Cleared by Conor Fogarty. Dublin with a chance, didn't take it. Now then, this one gathered by Joey Boland under severe pressure, and then it's a loose pass back as Kilkenny are putting Dublin under fierce pressure here. Here was the chance again. Bit of confusion inside. Paul Ryan didn't get a clean connection though, and Kilkenny were able to clear. Murphy, very low trajectory, but he finds a Kilkenny man, but Kieran Joyce wasn't able to gather that one. Now can Dublin get something moving here through Danny Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe has put the ball over the bar. Dublin's first score from the St. Jude's man. Scored 4 points in the 2 matches against Wexford, and with his first chance of the day does well to reduce the gap to 2 points. Well then, Richie Power helping out his defence. And as far as Lester Ryan, long ball forward, brilliant catch. Liam Rush, a chance now for Joey Boland. Huge one from Boland, and that's more like it. Using the wind to their advantage there, Dublin. But of course you have to be accurate as well. And Joey Boland was accurate. It all came from a fantastic catch from Liam Rush. Boland decided to go for the posts, and it was the right decision. That one cleared by Conor Fogarty to Tommy Walsh. Walsh down towards Walter Walsh, and Walter again imperious in the air. That's brilliant play, and Walsh goes for the goal, and this one has gone over. Well, there's no Hawkeye in Port Leash, what's needed according to the umpires, and Walter Walsh has scored his 2nd point of the match, and it's another brilliant one. Paul Schutte tried to grab his jersey to hold it back, it didn't work. Great score from Walter Walsh. And, well, I don't know who that was to, but Owen Larkin just can't believe it. And then, obviously, a first-time ball to Richie Hogan is the tactic, but Peter Kelly read that one well. But a poor pass, giving it back to Owen Larkin. Look at the way he shielded the ball there, lovely play. Now then, here's Richie Hogan. And Dublin are maintained with a sloppy clearance. Owen Larkin won it back, found that man, Richie Hogan. And Hogan did really well. Look at this again. Owen Larkin to Richie Hogan, and it's very simple when the game is played like that. Gathered by Paul Schutte, but then given away again. Richie Hogan. Oh, lovely pick up from Richie. Now then, a pass inside towards Walter Walsh. 2 points to his name so far. Walter from the left side, and it's the same result. He's got 2 from the right hand side. Switch wings there. Another point from the left, and it's 8 points to 5 now for Kilkenny. And Walter Walsh included from the start today, and really doing superbly. Knocked down again. Crossfield pass from Joey Boland. This one gathered by Dotsie O'Callaghan, and that's better from Dublin. Nice ball from Joey Boland. Michael Rice chopping down and giving a free away to Dublin. Trailing by a point. Now Joey Boland. Chance to draw the teams level. Good strike by Boland. And it's over the bar. Super free. And the teams are level as we enter injury time at the end of the first half. Picked up now by Danny Sutcliffe. Good ball. Paul Schutte, the corner back going forward, and that's a lovely point from Paul Schutte. Well, his brother is on the full forward line, but the corner back showing Dublin how it's done. Danny Sutcliffe did very well, but it was Schutte up in support who took on the responsibility, and a lovely strike, and Dublin lead. This is a hard work play from Dublin, and eventually the shot from Paul Schutte was a weak one. Mark Schutte, should I say, and it's cleared by Murphy. Now a long one for Murphy. Peter Kelly in there. A chance now for Walter Walsh. And the ball has been circulated back to the net by Walter. A great goal. Really nothing was going right for Kilkenny. And in the blink of an eye, it was a long one down. Peter Kelly had it but lost it. Walter Walsh was in, and he buried it to the roof of the net. Ryan O'Dwyer. McCartney across again to O'Callaghan. It's a tactic that has worked well for Dublin in the second half. Can O'Callaghan finish it? Passes the ball out, and it's a great strike and a point by Shane Durkin, the substitute, and the teams are level again. Lovely crossfield ball to Dotsie O'Callaghan. He turned back, man in space with Shane Durkin, who made no mistake. Schutte does well, low ball across the square, eludes everybody except Paddy Hogan. And Hogan's one has been kept in nicely by Joey Boland. Boland off his left hand side has struck the ball over the bar, and a fantastic point. Look at this from Joey Boland. Kept his eye on the ball the whole way, and then from a tight angle struck over a great score. The teams are level again. 50 yards from goal, breaking ball. Important, picked up now by Walter Walsh. Has it up with the post and just nonchalantly tapped it over. That's 1-4 now for Walter. In the right place at the right time, and he wasn't going to miss from there. Great play again by Liam Rush. Really having a storming second half. Where Dublin need to get some accurate passing going. That one now taken by Mark Schutte. And Schutte has scored a quite inspirational point. And there's only one between them. Look at this for a catch. Brilliant by Schutte. But look how tight the angle was. That's a wonderful score. Low one for McCaffrey. O'Callaghan though comes across. O'Callaghan able to get the pass out towards Durkin. Durkin under pressure. Surely a chance of a point. And it's been taken by Kilkenny. And the teams are level in Portlaoise. Great score by Kilkenny. Who's going to get a place into the national final against Galway? What a finish in this match. Driven forward. And a chance here. Picked up again by Eamon Dillon. Out towards Schutte. Looking for the free, maybe. There's Kilkenny, tight angle. And it comes back off the upright and goes wide. Would you believe it? Well, Kilkenny thought he may have had a chance off the upright, and the teams are still level. Tommy Walsh scampering back from Kilkenny. He's lost it. Now then, here's Kilkenny. Can he gather? JJ Delaney is all over, but here's Keating. And he's been fouled, and it's a free into Dublin. Ryan O'Dwyer in the thick of it. The ball was played out towards Owen Larkin. He was fouled as we enter injury time. Larkin with a chance to draw the team's level. And Larkin has made no mistake. A long one forward, broken down by Tommy Walsh. Killian Buckley in there. Picked up now by Leinster Ryan. And Ryan has given away a free for Virgin, and he cannot believe it. But Joey Boland, with less than a minute of additional time left, has a chance to give Dublin the lead. Boland scores his 9th point of the match. Will it be the most important one? Will Kilkenny get one more chance? 30 seconds left in additional time. The ball is broken loose. Walter Walsh with a flick. TJ Reid, and the teams are level. Well, Kilkenny are never beaten, you should know that by now. And TJ Reid with such a vital score. And the time is up on my watch. And Johnny Ryan decides to call an end to it. Well, what an entertaining Leinster semi-final. Anthony Daly, a wry smile as he congratulates Brian Cody and Michael Dempsey. But what a fantastic second half. It was 8 points each at half-time. Walter Walsh's goal seems to have given Kilkenny the edge, but Dublin never gave in. And some great shooting from Joey Boland, and Mark Schutte had a fantastic game as well as the substitute. But it's ended in a draw here in Portlaoise. Final score, Kilkenny 114, Dublin 17 points.
Brian, another tough battle in this year's Leinster Championship for Kilkenny.
Yeah, obviously it was a huge battle. First half we played against a very, very strong wind and did well, obviously level at half time, and came out the second half to play with a very, very strong wind, and Dublin played excellently in the second half, and we escaped really, and we got to the last point there, just the last bucket again I suppose, and so replay now next Saturday.
I mean, I'm sure the pundits during the week will be saying that Dublin have missed their chance today, and you'll obviously be trying to drill it into your players that that's not the case.
Yeah, well, sure, look, what the pundits, they're pundits are the pundits, they have a job to do, I understand that, and dabbled in a bit of that myself in my time, and you don't get it right all the time, so look, they're kind of written us off today, so we liked the thought of that. I suppose we're a bit under the radar, but our cover is blowing a bit now, even though we didn't play well, like we really haven't turned in our best yet, but I'd be hoping that the belief gained by today, maybe that we might come out, and really go at it strong again Saturday night, and up the pace if we can. I know, look, Kilkenny will be better, so we have to be better.
All right, Liam Sheedy, let's expand on that a little. Dublin were written off, certainly after the highs of 2 years ago. Are they back?
Yeah, they were written off. I guess you couldn't argue enough for people not writing them off, to be honest. I guess I was at the match last year when Dublin were playing Kilkenny, and there was a huge expectation of Dublin last year, and they never turned up. Anthony said it was the very same as if he picked a group of lads up at the Red Cow. Yeah. Completely different story today. Like after a shaky enough start against the Breeze, at half-time, 8 points all, you didn't feel that Dublin had a chance, but they really rallied in that second half and came really strong. And I thought out-hurled Kilkenny for long periods. I mean, Kilkenny only scored 1-2 from playing that second half, relying very much on Walter Walsh. So Anthony will be very happy. He mentioned there a big word called belief. I think they believe now maybe they can live with Kilkenny. So it'll be interesting to see how next week goes. But obviously, they could have missed their chance. I thought they had an outstanding chance last puck of the game. They were so close. Yeah.
And Sarah, what about Kilkenny? Because they weren't great against Offaly, and arguably today they weren't great. Is it too soon to analyse them?
You write them off as your pearl, but they are a long time on the road, and the injuries are starting to come. Like Jackie Tyrrell couldn't play today, Michael Finlay couldn't play today, the King himself couldn't play today, Henry. Now Paul Murphy it looked a bad injury today. And Paddy Hogan came on, so they are running out of bodies as well. But they'll regroup, and probably Michael Finlay will be back the next day. But are they improving? But it's up to everyone else to improve. I think Dublin did today what everyone thought to do last year. And once they got the Wexford game, the first game to me was a real telling point, because when they got out of that, not playing well the first day, they got their half back line solid. You had Heine, Rush, McCarthy the next day, the two boys midfield. McCaffrey had a great back to himself today, and Joey Boland. That five, they're the engine, and they're starting to hurl the way they can hurl. And if Anthony's or Liam's on about there, if they get real belief in themselves, they can go and have a right cut again. And what's to stop them winning? Because once they took on Kilkenny, Kilkenny were in trouble. And like, you know, like this championship is proven to be a great one because we're having shocks all over the place. Even a draw today, like, kind of just shows you what can happen in championship.
Yeah. Well, let's look at it then, Donal. We asked you to look at it. And now, Dublin weren't great in the first half.
Yeah, I don't think, you know, neither team would be overly happy with the first half. I think Kilkenny won the toss. They elected to play against the wind. And, you know, I think this was one of the few occasions where Dublin ran at the Kilkenny defence and, you know, Paul Ryan, Owen Murphy did well. But, you know, it was one of the few chances that was created in the game. I think for the rest of the second half, you know, Dublin played a two-man inside line, and when you're playing with the wind, you know, that's maybe debatable. And, you know, a lot of the game that they played meant that they were coming back again. I know we've highlighted that in the last couple of weeks, but they seem very comfortable with that, and, you know, it seems to be their system, and, you know, they seem happy enough to stick with it.
But at half-time, given the way the wind was, everyone thought Kilkenny might pull away, and it was quite the opposite, really, in the second half.
Yeah, it was quite the opposite. It was, you know, the Dublin team that came out in the second half was a totally different team. I think they even won a ruck, which you'd normally associate with Kilkenny winning those types of balls. And, you know, then they got a couple of points, and then they got hit with this, what you might have thought at the time was a killer blow. I think, you know, Mark Schutte didn't strike a great ball into Owen Murphy. Mark Schutte actually played very well afterwards. Peter Kelly dropped the ball, and Walter Walsh came in with a fantastic finish. And I'd say Dublin people were saying at the stage, look, oh, here we go again. If you look at it closely, though, Richie Power grabs onto Peter's arm. You know, small little things like this make the difference, and made the room for Walter Welch, what it shouldn't take from the finish. It was an absolutely fantastic finish. The key for me, and this was really the story of the second half, though, was the response from Dublin. They got the next score, and this is, again, taking on the man. You draw people into you, and you put them under pressure, and you create chances. This was a really important score from Johnny McCaffrey, and I think that was the tail of the game for the rest of the second half.
Yeah.
It was tit for tat, and it was really exciting stuff going down to the last minute.
Yeah, it was so dramatic, and so, I mean, people watching here were on their feet, but the finish itself, take us through it. The
finish itself, I think everybody was on the edge of the seat. I think if you look at two things here, you look at the players that were involved. You had Liam Rush and you had Walter Welch again. Look at the amount of yards that Walter Welch has to make up here at the finish. People mightn't think he's that fast. It was absolutely excellent. But also Rush again comes in, and, you know, sometimes you wonder if he didn't make that it mightn't have given TJ Reid the chance. But I think the key thing